So by the end of this video, you know everything I know about building a profitable YouTube channel by yourself with AI doing most of the work. I've been doing this for years. I've made multiple six figures directly from YouTube, not from selling courses from the channels themselves. And I've shown the real dashboards to prove it. I've also helped build hundreds of profitable channels for students who started with zero experience. So this isn't a video where I tease the good stuff and send you somewhere else to actually get a note. I'm going to be covering niche selection. I'm going to be covering account setup, scripting, AI tools to use, how to go about editing, thumbnails, posting, and stuff like that, how the YouTube algorithm actually works. From all my years of experience, it's all in this video. And there's no part two. You see, because such interest in YouTube automation has actually dropped for 2 years straight, most people think that means it's saturated, but it means the opposite. Fewer people are learning it right, which means less real competition for the people who do. So here's what we're going to be covering. How to find a niche. So everything is already in order, but if you don't know a section or want to jump straight through something specific, you can use the timestamps in the description. You can also skip straight to whatever part you need. Let's get into it, get your notebooks, and let's get it. What's wrong with the mindset of the people that don't make it? You guys would think that mindset is overrated. It's not. It's very important. So let's go through it. Let's go through the mindset of those I've seen that never end up making it, and what sets off the people that actually make it, right? That end up making money on YouTube. So this applies to you, whether you already have channels, whether you're a beginner, whatever stage you're in, right? And that pattern is, you have someone, you post a video, 24 hours later, you panic. You post once, you refresh the views, you go to the channel, you click the video, you get fresh, you start looking at the analytics, etc., etc. Then you blame the channel, you blame the video, you blame the niche. I should change the niche, etc., etc. Hundreds of times I've seen this, where hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, I'm not exaggerating, right? So that's not how YouTube works. Guys, this is not how YouTube works. YouTube is a very interesting system. The way it happens, it always gives you delayed results. It's a delayed indicator. It's like watering a plant. You don't plant a seed today and expect to reap the rewards today. YouTube doesn't work that way. And I know why your mindset is skewed this way. It's because when you're looking for niches, or when you're searching YouTube and you're finding channels like people saying, oh, I monetized this channel in 30 days. Or if you know my videos, oh, I monetized this channel in 7 days. It makes you start to believe that that's the norm. It makes your mindset kind of feel like, oh, only 7 days? I don't really have to work that hard. It makes you start to believe and start to chase some shiny object. It's just some secret out there, like as soon as I do it, my first video is going to go viral. It's going to blow up, right? This is what skews your mindset. You think that's the norm, but that's not the norm. You're never going to see the videos. I have started channels that failed, that I posted for months, right? I failed, that just didn't succeed. I'm not going to make a video about that. Even if I make a video about how I posted for 2 months, didn't get these. You probably wouldn't even watch the video because you're chasing the shiny object. So what I'm saying, you don't see the failed channels. You don't see the channels where, on average, it takes this many videos to start seeing results. You're not going to see those channels going viral on your feed. So it makes you believe that, like to really make it work, you have to do it in 7 days. You have to do it right now. Like you have to blow up right now. Otherwise, it's just not working. And this mindset is a thing that destroys you before you even start. Just YouTube, the way the game works, YouTube itself, it's a delayed indicator. It's delayed. Even if you're making the best videos right now, I've had channels where I blew up in like 3 videos, for example, right? Let's use, I guess we can use this for example. You might be looking at this channel right now and saying, oh, I posted here, blew up. When I posted these first videos here, they were not getting views. If you check in day 1, they're not getting views. If you check in day 2, day 3, they're probably not getting views, right? Because it doesn't give you instantaneous feedback. But if you keep feeding the right inputs and you understand the game, that it's literally a lagging indicator, and if you keep making the right inputs and get our help to ensure that you're making the right inputs and you accept the lag between you making the right inputs for a certain number of time, right, to YouTube deciding, okay, let's start giving you feedback. And I'm not making this shit up. It's literally called compounding. There's something called compounding. It's like anything. Right? It's like anything. Guys, please, I know this sounds corny. I don't care how the fuck it sounds, but you need to hear this because I need you to make something out of this course. I don't want this course to be something that you watch across every other black courses that you watch and like make nothing out of it. There's something called compounding. Whether you're learning a new skill, whether you're building a business, whether you're freaking going to the gym, physique, whatever, there's going to be a flat period of time when nothing is happening. You're going to the gym, you're doing everything right, you're eating right, you're making the right inputs, whether it's your business, you're running the ads right, you're doing everything right, but still the graph is fucking flat. And it's flat for a long period of time, and then everything compounds. And then it compounds. Long read about compounding. It's a huge thing, right? So mindset is very important. Do not be the guy that does this, okay? The way the YouTube game works is you make the inputs first, the outputs come later. YouTube does not pay you as you work. If you wanted this, that's why there's a risk involved, right? If you just wanted, I must, as long as I make inputs today, I get paid today, go get a fucking job. If it was that instantaneous, anybody makes a video today right now, they get paid today, the whole economic system would collapse. Who the fuck would work a job anymore? Everyone would just become YouTubers. Everyone will just become YouTubers, right? There has to be a gauntlet. There has to be a line where people that have the sheep mindset and be like that, all constantly chasing the shiny object can't stick through a certain period of time. So they quit the business, which is the entry barrier, which disqualifies some people and only allows some certain people to win, which keeps everything balanced anyway. You can't have everyone win on day one and it still be a market. That's not how it works. About making sense. So it pays you after a stretch of work that looks like nothing. You might be thinking those inputs you're making, even your videos are flat, etc., 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 that they're just in the void. But that's not how it works. Guys, I know I've had channels I'm monetizing 1 week, but that's not the average. The average, how the graph always looks, is I post. I'm not getting much of a use, but then because I have systems, I have teams in place and videos made every single day, right? And I just keep the systems in place, and then you check, suddenly the graph goes compounding, like the graph goes exponential. It's never linear. It's not input, output every single day. No, the graph is flat and then it compounds, if that makes sense. So one video tells you nothing. Most videos do nothing. A few carry everything. And this is actually a rule you can go read about right fucking now. Go read about the 80-20 rule. Read about this. Most of the earnings on this channel didn't come equally split across all the videos. Some videos didn't perform, but like most of the earnings came from a select number of videos. That's the 80-20 rule, right? The most outputs you're going to get is going to come from 20% of your inputs. One video is literally nothing. You have not even given the YouTube data on anything. You've done nothing and you expect results. See them? Most videos do nothing. If you carry everything, that's an 80-20 group. A sample size of 1 is not data. All right. So I just said the flat path is the filter. You're going to post. Outputs are going to look like 0. But you keep posting, and then it compounds quietly in the background. I know I'm saying this, and you guys think it's some kind of gimmick that I'm trying to, make you whatever. Guys, this is what works. I don't know how. I pray that you can just go into my mind right now. Sincerely, 100% genuineness in my heart. I'm not making this shit up. It sounds cliche. However it sounds, it's the only thing that fucking works. And if you need to actually make this shit work, if you need to have a profitable channel, you need to understand this. You can't skip this. So you keep posting, you calm down quietly, and then it breaks open. The few videos carried, you'd have viral outlines, but there's that flat path. Inputs before outputs. Do not judge the seed on day one. Okay? The account and niche are handled, post daily through the flat path. The only way to lose is to quit early. We have a new case study to go over here. So we have this channel that we haven't been posting on for very long, about 2 months now. And just go ahead and build it up here. That's just see. So if we go over to content, you see that obviously we've been posting every day, just what you need to know. But we go over, this is all our videos right here. Right? From May to period, that's when we're posting this video. Today's July 10th. Well, July, I don't remember. But if we go to analytics, which is what you're here for, you can go ahead and see that this channel right here ended up making us 5.2K in the last 28 days, as you can see. Started blowing up really quickly. In the last 90 videos, you can see right here, 20, blew up. Last 7 days alone, it's still at 900 USD in the last 7 days, which is not bad because this channel is completely automated. But I'm not sure he does the flex. I'm sure he does because a lot of you are going about niche research wrong. You know why? You know why I can know this for sure? Because if I ask you right now, what is your strategy to replicating my success right now, right here? What you're just going to go ahead and do is to start copying this channel. Literally ask yourself that question. I've reviewed the niche, right? I've been getting a lot of blasts saying, oh, why are you hiding your channel? Blah, blah, blah. I've reviewed the channel. I've reviewed the niche. How do you replicate what I have? Answer this question. If your answer to this question is, oh, okay, now let me search up the niche, let me open their video, and I'm just gonna start copying what they're doing. If that's your answer, just copying what I'm doing, you've already failed, right? So that's why I'm gonna go ahead. That's why I'm making this video. There's a lot that you have to start to understand when it comes to YouTube strategy, which obviously it's not your fault. All the videos you're making are done in the precise way that you keep. Sorry, all the videos you're watching, all the how to make money on YouTube videos that you're watching are done precisely in a way to keep you coming back. So eventually they can sell you on their courses, etc., etc. But anyway, if you go ahead and go over to this channel, it's like Australian, like I have Claude open, I have Miro open, I have everything open. I'm going to be giving you a full breakdown of this channel, how to actually form a strategy why he actually have higher chances of succeeding rather than repeated the loop that you've been doing forever. But yeah, we'll have it open. As you can see, literally Australian documentary conference. I'm going to try to open their video without having 10 fucking ads spammed in my face is it just me or I feel like YouTube ads nowadays are too ads? You just showed me another ad. Now you showed me another one. Like, please, I just want to see my video, please. But anyway, I'm going to make a cut to when this ad has finished playing, which is probably going to be tomorrow, 24 hours later, but let's see. Can we give you more confidence? You got the best there. Australia was not fair, so finally opened the video. But if we seek through the video, you can see them. Oh my God, I'm not another ad. I can't do this. Kiwi give you more confidence. You got the best deal. Thanks for the Kiwi price matches, mania. Right, finally. So if you seek over the video, you see it's a lot of B-rolls. That's who does. Okay. So it's a little B-rolls that assist in telling the story. That's all it is, As you can see, conspiracy theories like this. Some of them are conspiracy theories, some of them are real, obviously. If you hover over its B-rolls, you can search out what B-roll means, but it's just footage that help tell its story and stuff like that. So it's not because we're doing some crazy editing or because I'm paying my editor so much. I actually don't have any editors for these videos. That's not why I'm getting these videos. I'm getting these views. The pure reason I'm getting these ideas is what I'm getting going viral like this enough to make a 5K a month channel is purely from the ideation, okay? Like, I know you've heard this 1,000 times, but please, ideation and volume is the only way to win. So the moat is here, right? This is the moat, the moat. This is what separates people like to actually win in the game and people that lose in the game of YouTube, right? So going into this strategy, I want to tell you why copying this channel, right? It's the last thing you want to do. Just let me become a copycat is just not a valid strategy, okay? And I'm going to expose what strategy you should actually do that give you a higher chance of succeeding. So if you say, okay, let me just copy this channel, you're just going to join a sea of channels that are already doing what you just thought, which is to copy me. If you start to do this, you just become another copycat. And if you notice something lately, you know that YouTube is not rewarding copycat channels at all. Okay, so if we go to niches like this, I've even saved some more niches for you. So if you're looking at niches like this and saying, okay, I'm just going to copy them, you are going to struggle, because by the time you decided you're going to copy a channel, so many more people have done that. So many more people have started like last week or 2 weeks ago, way before you'd even thought of the idea. And the first idea, which is why it's actually so easy to execute this strategy, the first idea that comes in their minds is, look, let me just copy, which means everyone is doing the same thing, which means if you can just walk in the other direction, you will do quite well. So now I'm not saying to, obviously, like, I'm not saying to try to do something completely different. I'm going to go into that, how it actually works. I'm going to show you the strategy in this video. But YouTube right now is more of a monopoly game, okay? People with more original ideas, you probably heard this before, get more views and stay more consistent at getting views, right? And their trust scores are higher because YouTube sees them as a channel authority, right? When I started this channel that you're watching your videos on right now, so when I started posting on this channel, right, I'm not the only one making like tutorial videos, sharing my strategies and stuff, but people started copying my videos, my title frameworks, my thumbnails and stuff like that. But now their channels have literally fallen off. Like these are down, they're not getting consistent views anymore, etc. And I'm still doing pretty good, considering I just started recently, right? I literally just started this channel recently. One day ago, like I started posting back here recently, one month ago, 28K views, right? But really good allies for starting recently. Now, that's why YouTube is more of a monopoly game. If you just copy without something different, you're going to struggle, okay? I think I'm yapping too much. So guys, actually, let me know in the comments, what kind of tutorials do you prefer? Do you prefer these deep dives where I don't try to think of, there's a time limit and I'll just go through everything in depth? Or do you prefer I kind of just rush through it and just like not yap too much? Just let me know and I will accommodate. But yeah, so you want to do what if you do what 99% of people do, you're going to struggle. And the thing that we do, the thing that makes sales strategy different is because we don't do what you're doing. BMS students don't do what you are sitting here right now thinking of doing for entry niches. We don't do that. Right? So you are the 99%, unfortunately, that kind of sounds bad, but unfortunately, the strategies you're thinking naturally is from what is propagated on YouTube, right? What's propagated everywhere, just find the most untapped niche. This near niche right now is trending, jump into this. So you're essentially doing what 99% of people are doing, right? And here's why this is bad. Everyone has access to the same niches, the same tools. Everyone has access to vidIQ. Everyone has access to like good niche finder now. Like people have tools for finding good niches. Everyone has access to the same niches on YouTube, the same YouTube dashboard, the same YouTube home feeds and stuff like that. There's no moat. Where is the moat? where is the thing? Because a few years ago, if you were to go back 5 years ago, the mold used to be more in like coming up with original ideas. People then were either coming up with original ideas or because there's no tools for finding these cool niches, the best niches, etc., etc. The moat was creativity. The moat was literally creativity, right? But fast forward now, YouTube automation has told you that you don't need to be creative. You just need to be a slop comping machine. You just need to pump slop all day and you're going to get rich, right? So the more YouTube automation went down, people started saying, oh, just use AI. Just use AI and do the same thing over and over. No one is thinking anymore. Man, this is your brain. I apologize. But no one is thinking anymore, right? So everyone is like, it's like a tunnel, right? And everyone's just like going through the same tunnel, trying to achieve the same thing at the end of it, right? See, as your competition right here, while you can just like take a different route. Now, because it's literally physically impossible for everyone to win if they're racing under the same competition, the same race. Impossible for any market in the world. So what you need is a moat. You need something that they can't easily copy. You need something different. You need a new way. It's not really a new way. It's just like, I guess you could say it's a more data-backed way to do YouTube that people can't copy easily, you know? And that's the thing I said earlier. Good advice is soft. They keep you watching so you can buy the course, all right? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to what we're doing differently that's allowing us to see results like this. Well, not one does, but you get the point. That's allowing us to see results like that consistently, right? This is not the only channel of showcasing this channel. What we're doing that you're not doing right now, right? Essentially, what we don't do that you do is, anyway, ideation. Number one thing is ideation, moat. So what do we do differently? So when we're doing ideation right now, we're not doing your traditional niche hunting where we're essentially going on YouTube trying to find a new untapped niches to enter, right? What we're doing is we already use data from channels that are monetized. Even if it's not monetized by us, we can use channels that we know are popping off. Channels like this, channels like this, channels like this one right here, right? And we use this data plus our student channels, right? So niches that have been monetized, whether it was in the celebrity niche, whatever niche it was, we take that channel data, right? And we take these formats that would be proven to work for these different audiences. If you look at these videos, they are not made for the young audience. These videos are made for the older specific demographic, right, that consume these easily editable videos, right? So we're trying to learn from those demographics and why they work. And because we have so much data now, we now use AI to ideate gaps, underserved gaps, underserved gaps based on what's already proven, okay? Based on what's proven. Pay attention. I'm not saying you should reinvent something completely different because you're going to need to test a lot and fail a lot if you're doing that. You'd need to point yourself in the correct direction by using formats that already work, right? And I'm going to show you how to do this. By using formats that already work and using that properly to create underserved demand, gaps, right? Because think about it. The niches that you keep seeing, they randomly like, it's about doing good. You're scrolling like YouTube one day and just randomly like that, you start seeing really good performing channels, whatever it could be, right? So I don't know why I said this. But you're scrolling like YouTube, doing whatever you're doing. Well, I'd admit you're like, what is wrong with this? I'm just watching if you do then. So you're scrolling on YouTube. Obviously, more confidence got the best deal thanks to the TUI partner. for you're certainly on YouTube. And the reason that you are finding those formats that are blowing up, right, that get a lot of views and stuff like this, think about it. Whenever you see these formats that blow up, it's novel, right? It's most of the times it's not something you've seen before. Most of the times it's because they're executing this strategy I'm talking about. Most of the times you've seen original ideas. Think about it. The ideas just sing and go viral over and over. Then you try to copy our original ideas. It's not copycats a lot that you just see keep going viral over and over. You're seeing completely novel ideas. It sounds novel, but it's not actually novel. I'm going to show you the strategy they're using. So you want to start to understand maybe the way to think about YouTube is to go more the original route, right? Maybe that's what YouTube rewarded again. So why not think about it like this? So you want to copy that engine that's been proven to work, right? This right here just proves something big. It proves you can make Australian old history videos and with stuff like that. It proves that there's an audience for stuff like this. So you use that engine, fit into AI, and find your new ideas and find unsaturated gaps that you can also start doing, and you become the first mover of this place, right? You become the first mover, uncrowded, literally nobody there making content, and you can be the first mover. This is you. Boom, boom. You can be the first mover. So how do you do this? Well, let me go ahead and show you. First thing you want to do, how we do it, is you want to get the channel data. So let's say we're using these two channels right here. As you can see, completed, not bad. So what would you do? Well, you would go over to whatever you use to get channel data. Okay, I'm going to show you what I use. I use Channel Recipe, which is my own tool. I'm sorry, for plugging what I actually use. It is my own tool, but you can use anything you want to use. You can use DownSub, which allows you to get channel transcripts and stuff like that. Now, I'm going to show you what we do. Right, so I'm going to come over here, go to Script Studio, right? And I'm going to, okay, let's add 2 channels. Reduce this like 10 videos. All we want to do right now is to get data from these channels. So what kind of data are we getting? We're getting title ideas, we're getting scripting ideas, we're getting the audience demographic data. What kind of ideas work more than others? Well, hi, they're watching these videos and stuff like that. So I'm going to fetch channel data, and after I fetch them, we're going to download it. And after we do that, we're going to cut over to Claude. Now, very soon you are going to be able to have like this AI brain right here, which is essentially what we have trained on our own data. Is going to be released to the public soon, but it's not released just yet. So we can do that inside here with all our data, but it's not released just yet. So we're going to be using Claude. So I'm going to show you IT Squad. So let's wait for the channel data to finish. As you can see, it's got my scripts here as well. So I'm going to download the JSON. As you can see, he's fetched 2 channels. I'm going to download the JSON right here. So after we've downloaded the JSON, we're going to go ahead and come over to Claude. So you can use Fable 5 if you want, but I think it's just unnecessarily expensive. So I'm just going to use Fable 4. I'm going to use Opus 4.8. Fable 5 is also really slow, which I don't like. Now, you want to go ahead and come over here as well, go to Resources, and then get this Blue Ocean niche prompt. Everything, all the strategies I've explained himself out, I've embedded it into this prompt. So come over here and paste that prompt right here. You can open it and look at the advice. Essentially, what it's doing is everything it needs to know to learn from this data and find you actual ideas that will resonate with an audience that you're not even thinking about, to find you these blue ocean niches. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that. And now all we have to do is to just wait for it to complete. Now, while that's happening, I've just showed you number 1 asset that we have, which is ideation, and how we fix ideation. Now, let me show you number 2. Number 2 is trust God, right? Now, I know a lot of people say, you know what? Initially, initially, it does sound like a gimmick. Oh, what is trust score? YouTube trust score, YouTube this, or you don't have enough trust scores or YouTube doesn't push your videos. If you don't know what it means, essentially, it depends on what account that you have, like how much does YouTube trust it. So on average, if you create a new YouTube channel, it's very much harder for YouTube to give you impressions, all right? Because like YouTube doesn't really know if you're a real user, if you're a bot, like spam accounts and stuff like this. So most of the times you have to post more often to build channel history from scratch. So YouTube's channel history. So YouTube slowly starts to trust you more to essentially start giving you impressions, right? So this is a new channel. On average, guys, listen to me, okay? On average number, okay? Outlets exist. There are gonna be some people that can make a new channel, start posting this week and start getting impressions. But I'm saying if you extrapolate, on average, new channels are flipping good. Outlines exist, but on average, when my students try this, when I've tried this, when other people have tried this, you should create a channel from scratch, immediately start posting. YouTube, right, is not going to give you impressions that easily. They're not going to give you impressions that easily. Now, a lot of people realize this. I'm not like taking this out of my ass or something. A lot of people realize this, and everyone's like using aged accounts. But I've made a full, I'm not going to explain the whole thing again. I have made a full video covering how this thing works. So this is not like another tutorial of the same thing. I don't mind repeating myself. But I made like a full tutorial on it. You can go watch this, how trust score works, etc. But the whole idea is aged accounts is slightly better than new accounts, but there's a strategy to make this one work. It's all about trust score, right? On how quickly you start getting impressions. But what we do is we use pre-monetized accounts. So this channel that you're looking at right now, this pre-monetized. So even though obviously we made that first video here, just like a random video to put there, it was only monetized from there, So it was monetized from day one. And even if you go to this video right here, if I can like load this video, if she zoom in right here, you can see from day 0 of posting, the first day, pretty much 1 day, 19 hours of posting this video, it got 2K views in the same day. This is not something you see commonly with new channels. Normally with new channels, you post, you go 0 views, 12 views, etc. You post for longer, and you stay consistent and eventually start getting views. But we don't have time for that because we're executing kind of novel ideas, kind of new ideas. So we need feedback quickly. So we need impressions quickly. And so we can know if a strategy is valid or not. So we just use pre-monetized accounts. All right. So he is pre-monetized accounts. So that's the account strategy right here. So if you're wondering how do you get pre-monetized accounts, you could go ahead and do your own research. You don't have to get your pre-monetized account from us. I'm not saying this so you can, buy our pre-monetized accounts. We do have one, but you don't have to. Now, I know a lot of people watching this are going to be like, oh, he was just making their pro videos so he can plug into pre-monetized account. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can say to ever convince you that this is how actually YouTube works. So if you don't want to believe this, if you want to keep running the same strategy you be running, that's fine. My job, I'm not sitting here begging to convince you to follow my strategy. In fact, please don't follow my strategy. Please keep doing your own strategy and spend time, carve out your own experience. This is for people that want to know how I'm running my channels. And this is how I'm running it. Whether you want to get pre-monetized accounts from us, actually, I'm dying now. Whether you want to get pre-monetized accounts from us, whether you don't want to get, that's completely up to you, all right? But we do have one. So you can check the link below on where to how pre-monetized accounts work. We have a whole tutorial there. So it's hestouchhammers.com. So you can go ahead and look at how like trust score works. And you can see some testimonials here. We have a wall of testimonials. And you can learn more about how they work. We have a whole video here explaining how pre-monetized accounts work. Or guys, whether you don't get it from us, I don't care, okay? I'm just telling you, if you wanna properly execute what we're doing, you also have to keep the trust score in mind. Whether you want to go with an aged account or whether you want to test your luck with a new account, that's completely up to you. I'm just giving you my systems. Now we'll come with the step 3, which is volume. But before we do that, let's go back to this and let's see how it's going. And still quiet it's time. So let's just go ahead and wait for that guest that gives us, right? While we're waiting for that though, let me tell you why you can never compete us. We have endless volume. A lot of you are lazy as fuck. A lot of you watching this video right now are super lazy. You're either lazy or you don't really have much money to hire editors. So what ends up happening is when you start a new channel, when you start a new channel, you have the worst mindset on YouTube. But I don't know why I don't know how you grew this mindset that essentially puts YouTube out to be this get rich quick scheme thing, which it's not. YouTube is not a get rich quick scheme game. Okay, so what happens with a lot of people is they find each other, they make one video, right? They make two videos, right? Especially, they're probably in the New York account, or they're probably in an agent account that don't even have trust code. They don't know how to know if your channel has trust code. I talked about it in the last video, how you can know if your channel has good enough trust code or not. So you can go watch it. But they don't even know if your channel has trust code. So they make like 1 to 2 videos and then they expect to get 10K views. I promise you. I've coached a lot of people. Right? And this is the hardest mindset, hardest thing that's stopping them, that I have to kind of reprogram out of them to even get anywhere. They have this mindset that if I make 2 videos, I should have gotten 10K views by now. And the reason this is because when they're going YouTube or they watch all these guru videos, of course you're going to see the channel that goes viral. No one shows you channels that don't go viral, right? Because you're not going to click on the videos. The whole idea is how YouTube works. YouTube is a compounding game. YouTube is not linear. YouTube doesn't give you results linearly, okay? You don't start posting today and start seeing results on the linear scale like this. That's not how it is. Okay, YouTube is a compounding game. So you post 0 views, and all of a sudden it compounds. That is how YouTube is. But a lot of people post here, then they quit here because they expect to be seen instantaneous feedback. But that's not how YouTube is. You keep making your inputs, posting your videos, posting your views, and all of a sudden it glows up. All the channels I've showed you here, okay, if you go to this channel right here, all the channels have revealed, isn't that crazy? Literally all the channels have revealed in y'all is all that is us posting videos, not seeing results, and then boom, compounding. Isn't that fucking insane? Bro, not seeing results, and then boom, compounding. And then you start making 5 from the balls a day. Was he ever linear? It was never linear. It was never linear at all. It was never linear. It was you posting videos, and eventually it compounds, right? YouTube is a compounding game. So if you understand this, that YouTube is a compounding game, then the way to beat system, the way to beat the Arsenal number 3 is to have volume, right? To be able to make volume at very low price, very low cost, or very low time, right? So if you hiring people, you want to make sure that's cheap as hell. You want to make sure that's as cheap as possible. So we help get our students like, $5 a video to like hire editors to edit their videos. Either we do that, or we have like, essentially we have like video generators, like AI video generators. So we do have one, which is Channel Recipe. So Channel Recipe can also like generate videos. So you can see right here. It cannot do all the niches, obviously, but the niches that it can do, it does it really well. Like for example, this right here, it produces it like excellently. Produces these kind of like AI illustrations from the cinematic B-roll recipe. So it produces it, right? So if you understand how the game works now, that it's a compounding game, they need to solve volume. You need to be able to have a system where a video is posted every single day. 1 to 2 videos have been posted every single day. Like, look at this. 2 videos, 3 videos, right? You never skip. All right, let me actually, in the last 7 days, right? One video. We never skip because systems are in place. right? And if you keep those systems in place, that's how compounding works. So once you understand that, you want to have whether you try to hire people, make sure it's cheap as possible, right? And that you can post consistently for 30 days and keep investing in this channel. Because YouTube is a compounding game, and it's like growing a seed, which then sprouts and grows, right? So what we are beating you at too, the reason we're beating you is that we have so much fun. We post so many videos every single day across all our channels, and our systems are so in place that no video ever doesn't get posted because we don't feel like it. So how people fail is they post through videos, they feel like they've spent money getting into these niche and not really seeing results, so they quit. And they don't even know if it's a volume thing, compounding thing, niche thing, systems thing, account thing with the pre-monetized accounts and like Trustco and all these things. They don't even know how to diagnose there, right? So this amount of thing will keep in mind, right? Whatever you're doing, however you enter in a niche, make sure it's cheap. Make sure it's cheap on money. Make sure it's cheap on time. So when you enter these niches, you can actually stick to it long enough to work. YouTube is not a get rich quick scheme. It is not. It's far from it. It's far from a get rich quick scheme. Like, do not think about it like this. All you have to do is to make the right inputs, which I just showed you how to make the right inputs so you get the right outputs. Now let's see if our Claude is finally done. It's thinking it's quiet. It's taking its time. Actually, you don't need this. I don't know why it's using this. You don't need this at all. This is an extension, like next level extension. You don't need to put this here. So I'm actually gonna pause this video now and rerun this properly so that it gives us some results. It's taking so much time, but when this is released to the public, it will be so much easier to use. But now let's just wait for these ideas to come out. And yeah, that's right. Okay, now that is finally done. Now keep in mind to run this strategy, it is best to have a lot of data. We didn't put this much data into this. That's why we're going to be releasing the brain really soon, because we have so much data. But you need data across successful channels, like as much as you can possibly get. And as you can see, we posted it. And essentially what it's telling to do is to extrapolate the audience. Why did this video work? Why are these videos have these charms wanting? They actually ended up running this strategy on the Jeremy Clarkson channel. So let's see. So step C, live hunger map. So this is what's telling you what formats are already being executed. So the channel we saw earlier, let me see if I can find that channel again. Overwatch. So channel we saw earlier, it's mapped out where the attention cluster is, where that attention is coming from, right? So there's a lot of demand on Jeremy's cancer situation. Yeah, so demand is high, but it's also semi-crowded, right? So it's done the research for you, telling you what formats are being crowded, and then giving you other ideas that also with high demand, if they're fresh or not. It's extrapolated multiple ways that British audiences are coming to this video. Multiple interest points, multiple interest indicators, right, that lead into these videos going viral. And each of them can be carved out to their own niches, which is what it's doing here. So the group of thumb here, obviously, it's pretty temporary. You want to go for niches that have high demand and like fresh supply, like not that much competition just yet, right? But remember, like I said, you want to run this on like bigger, like with a lot more data. Right, but you can go ahead and read the full thing. The rule it's using to identify the untapped formats on untapped markets, as you can see. But it's giving you new ideas so you can form a new niche around, right? The day 25,000 farmers took over Clarkson Farm, etc. You can see, and it's done the research, found the attention clusters, and stuff like this. The 1 million pound that could kill every farm Clarkson fought for, all of these kind of niche business. It's from this niche, this kind of angle, pretty much from this really. So it's giving you clusters. Cluster number 2 is business mechanics. These are all untapped audiences. Again, you can see the sources from YouTube, Wikipedia, done the source on the internet, searched articles to find these audience interest factors that hasn't been brought into YouTube yet. So you can be one of the new people, one of the fresh ones, right, to come over and bring this supply on YouTube. And that's how you manufacture virality or like fresh channels, right? So this strategy that I give you right now can be sustained. It's sustainable. The reason it's sustainable is because there's moat to it, right? Everybody can't just copy the same thing. There's so many more ways that you can go about it now that each and every one of you actually has a chance now. But so if you're going to be executing this, like I said, find a more variety of channels or just get into channel recipe and you're going to have access to this when it drops. But get all the data, put it into here, use the Glee Ocean Mesh prompt and start carving out mesh just this way and stop trying to be another copycat because that's why you're not seeing these just yet. So if you learned something good, but let me know what kind of videos you want to see next. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Bye. Oh yeah, and by the way, from a KSL for monetize account, if that's something I can get, it's not for everyone who don't have internet channels, it's only for a strict number of people. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, head over to headsetchannels.com. You're going to see everything about what it's about and apply. If you accept it, you might get yourself a YouTube brand, YouTube account. So let's go. Ancient accounts don't work anymore. So we started this channel we started posting on this channel. It's not a brand new account. It's a pre-monetized account. But we started posting less than 28 days ago. And that would made 1.3K. But that's not why I'm showing this. I'm showing this because if we come over here, and let's scroll all the way down, this is our very first video. As you can see, I can't click next. This is our very first video. So if we go to the impressions, as you can see down here, absolutely bonkers level. So straight from when we started posting, if you look over here, everyone started posting in the first day, it did 20,000 views, which is very strange for new channels. Usually, you won't get any impressions. You'd post for a while. If you're YouTuber, you've probably seen this. Especially on the accounts, or sometimes even on aged accounts, then you're not able to get impressions quickly, right, when it started off. So I'm going to show you what happened recently with aged accounts, why they don't work as consistently anymore. So you might be noticing that if you start posting out the aged accounts, you didn't need to post a lot more. Like you might be thinking to yourself, why doesn't it work as consistently anymore? What's going on? Well, I'm going to explain to you what's going on. And the no bullshit guide, what you can actually do right now, right? To increase your chances drastically when using aged accounts, the only way it works anywhere, and what to do that. So let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be a quick tutorial. This is just going to be what works. I know a lot of people are not going to do it anyway, but I'm going to show you what works for my own channels anyway. Chris, that's not the only channel I'm starting recently. So this channel will also started posting recently. And as you can see, even though we missed a day here, this very first video, it's not the greatest, right? And that's one thing I do want to explain to here, okay? Before I go into what my main account is, so hopefully you already know what it is, but it's point target. So it's not monetized. It's a channel that was created like around 2010 to 2015-ish. And it's supposed to prove to YouTube that you're not a bot because you have all this, you've been around in a long time. Usually bots used to create new accounts, like fresh new accounts. So this helps with your trust score. That's the whole idea behind a main account. Now, the problem with what China saw, right, is let's say you're posting videos, right? You're like blasting videos and you're not getting impressions. So you're posting videos, but you're not getting impressions. Okay. Before we go into like Because this is why, or this is what used to happen. Age accounts were goated, right? Because YouTube were fighting spam accounts, which are people that would create new accounts and they'll instantly start spamming views, or they'll instantly start viewing someone else's video. And the goal for this thing is to inflate YouTube views. So if you bought YouTube views, which I don't recommend, the people that would give you the YouTube views are people that bought spam accounts, like created new accounts, and they would make the bots would make these accounts go watch your video so that you'd go viral, right? So YouTube started fighting these spam accounts, right? So a new account means like a bot button, right? So a few months ago, this was almost free impression. So if you had a aged account, right, does these guys only use spam accounts, so we're just creating the accounts. But if you had a aged account, that usually saves you from, YouTube detecting you as a bot, right? So if you had an aged account, it was equal to like ruin user impressions. I know if you've been doing YouTube for a while, you will know the golden stages, the golden era of aged accounts, right? Now, here's why I believe it died. This is my own theory. I've gone multiple, like countless number of aged accounts that you guys wouldn't even think of. And I just don't think it works as well as it used to anymore. Right? And I'm going to show you what to do in a second. Okay. I'm going to show you the action with steps what you can actually do. And that thing is that bot farms need thousands of accounts, right? So they started buying aged accounts. They stopped creating new accounts because YouTube was fighting against them. They started buying aged accounts. Right here, you can go research into this. It's all public. And YouTube said, okay, I guess now we have to crack down on those too. So an aged account, simply like just purchasing one aged account and thinking that's good, usually just doesn't work anymore. Now I'm going to get into what you can do. But before I do that, I want to explain something that would make you work in the first place. Like I said, I don't want to take too long with this guide. I just want to show you what would actually work. So what you want to go ahead and pay attention to is you want to decide, because we're talking about impressions here, right? You want to decide how often it takes you to get these impressions, right? Because a lot of you, to be honest, are chasing shiny object. You're never actually consistent to get enough results. A lot of you are jumping around. So I'm going to show you how often I start posting to know if a channel is decent or not, if I should continue posting on that channel, or if I should, skip the channel and like do something else. Before you even continue this video, you want to know if you've even tried, right, to see if you get views or not, right? Because the systems I'm following on my own channels, as you can see from this video alone, I'm not saying it works 100% of the time. Like, I'm not saying your first video is going to blow up, right? I'm just saying, like, you can see this video didn't do like crazy number of impressions. It was stopped on 200 views and it was stuck forever. Like, it's not like it blew up for the first video, Even the second one didn't perform. It's the third video, as you can see right here, that made some money, right? And again, this is a pre-monetized account. That's why you're seeing the earnings that it's doing here. Now, I want to let you know that at least make like 3 videos. Make 3 videos back to back, right? I would actually recommend 7 videos before you check impressions, okay? Before you say, okay, is my account doing good or not? Does YouTube trust my account to give me impressions, or should I just scrap the account, okay? That's what I suggest. Now let's get into what you can actually go ahead and do. This is their only play that's left. This is why I recommend for my students that don't have pre-monetized accounts. So if you want to make age accounts work, this is what you have to do. This is the only play that's left, okay? And that thing is, buy more than one age account. This is what I do. You don't have to do exactly what I used to do. Like, I don't use age accounts anymore, but if you wanted to know the play that I was running, what I'm doing, the whole age account race is buy 10. Just buy 10, get 10, okay? Because first of all, you have to know your niche. You have to know that if the niche you're going to enter is going to make you 10K a month, 20K a month, 20K a month, right? Before you even enter the niche, right? It's all about market demand. Otherwise, why would you do it, right? Because you now start to treat the account selection process as very important because sometimes these processes are time consuming. If you buy 10 pre-monetized, if you buy 10 H accounts, you now have to test them to see which ones are good, which ones survives the YouTube test, right? So what you do after you buy 10 is you post 10 videos on them. I'm not saying you should spam. Again, this is actually something else I would say never do. Never buy an age account or a pre-monetized account or whatever you buy and immediately just stop posting. Let's say you post one video right now. And that's another thing is to never rebrand. Don't change anything on the channel. The only thing you can add are channel tags. But anyway, let's move on, right? So let's say you post one video today. You check, you haven't really gotten any impressions. You know, instead of waiting and being patient, you post a second video like 10 hours later because you're so impatient and you have, so they'll post the first video, second video in the same day, they start spamming. This kills impressions like this, just the skull face account. This is some crazy skull. Anyway, look, it kills impressions to never spam videos. Can only post maximum one video a day on a new channel, right? And post for at least 7 days, I would say, to properly judge this. It sucks, you know. You need to do this with age accounts to know which ones are good or bad. You know, it's not all fine and dandy. YouTube automation is not all easy. You're like just how all these gurus make it out to be. I got to do some hard work at some point, right? You cannot produce value, make a lot of money without putting some work in. That doesn't exist. So don't post 10 videos spaced out properly to check if it works. Anyway, so this is what to do right now. This is the aged account play. If you have an aged account, you don't have a pre-monetized account, you just want to go the free way. You don't have much money, you know, and you just want to get something to work, all right? So get 10 right here. 10 pre-monetized account. And you have, sorry, why did I keep saying bro? Get 10 aged accounts, okay? Aged, boom, all right? And you have two routes. You have two different ways you can do this, okay? One way is to post your niche content, okay? And the second way is to post shorts. The shorts are easy to make. So what you do is we'd post a video a day, or a video every other day. You can do that if you want, of your niche videos. Obviously, this one gives you more momentum because if it works, you can just continue where you stopped, right? And this one is just like for texting. So what this niche content is, what I mean is essentially, you know, let's say you're doing the soccer niche, you want to do the soccer niche in the channel that you buy, you know, just stop making soccer videos. Just stop making the regular videos you can be making. If you're now watching this video and you're saying, oh, I don't want to make videos for free, I don't want to waste time and money making the videos, and you're scared of losing 10 videos, just so scared of saying and posting 10 videos and never making the money back, you already have the losing mindset because the niches I'm mentoring, all these niches that you're looking at right now, all right? All these niches, you think I'm sitting there wasting hours and hours or paying a lot of money to make these videos? Absolutely not. Your margins are going to be destroyed. Most of these niches are not hiring using video editors, like AI video makers to create them, all right? I have absolutely apologize for some, but don't do a crazy shameless plug, but I am building channel recipe, okay? I'm building channel recipe for some of the niches that I tried, like that I enter that are automatable by AI. I'm not going to give you a niche that cannot be automated by AI, but these formats are completely automated by AI. So I am building channel recipe to help me mass produce the video. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, that's channelrecipe.com, but that's besides the point. Anyway, I apologize for the shameless plug. But anyway, so niche content, you'd post once every other day for at least 7 days. We're running this experiment for 7 days, all right? That's what you do. right? So if you really want to make money from YouTube automation, that it should be so easy for you to pump out content. Like it should be so easy. You should understand the idea of volume and the 80-20 rule, the fact that 80% of your results will come from 20% of the inputs. You should understand that you can't have to do good volume, right? So, but anyway, so you'd post every other day on each of these channels, right? For every 7 days. If you can do that, or you can post once every 3 days or whatever you want wanting to do. And I'm going to show you what happens after the end of the 7 days, sorry. And now the part 2, the second way you can do this is, because this process, by the way, is what I like to call spam testing. So spam testing. All right, here, spam testing. Anyway, boom, block it out. Spam testing, right? So this is where we're trying to manufacture impressions before we commit to a channel. So the second way is to just post shorts videos. Shorts videos are easier to make. So it doesn't mean have to be something crazy. Like if you have a cat, or if you have a dog, if you have any pets or anything somewhat engaging, right? In your house, or maybe you're going out, whatever, just take your phone timer with you. Shoot a bunch of short clips, at least 20 seconds long. 30 seconds would be better. 30 seconds short videos like this, and post them every single day on these channels. Post them every single day. It doesn't matter what it's about. Post them every single day for some days. It just has to not be boring. It can't just be you recording your desk while nothing is happening. Record some movement. Record the flipping, the kids doing wheelies because it's summertime or whatever. Record something that's somewhat engaging and just post it every single day for 7 days. Now, after 7 days, this is way limit too, okay? After 7 days, we're going to go to all these channels. I'm going to look at impressions, okay? Impressions. And let's separate it for the A strategy and the shell strategy, all right? So this strategy, where you're posting niche content. Now, if this depends on the niche that you're planning to enter, but obviously here, if you get a lot of impressions, the channels you get the most impressions on, that's one you should do. But there's a cap to this, right? You should at least get 1,000 impressions. In the 7 days, you should at least get 1,000 impressions. If anything is under 1,000 impressions, just cut the niche completely. Like cut the channel. Don't post on the channel ever again. And if it's under 1,000 impressions in 7 days and you're posting to exist, at least you've gotten 1,000 impressions. Now, the ballpark that I was looking at when I was writing this strategy is at least 5 to 10,000 impressions. If I can get 5 to 10,000 impressions, right? Even if I got these impressions and it's not been 7 days, let's say I'm wrong in the experiment, I got these impressions, it's not been 7 days, scrap everything else and go all in on this one channel right here. Go all in on this one channel, right? But obviously that's not the average. Sometimes it'll take you way longer than that to find a channel that can give you good impressions. But you just kind of run this loop again and again until you stumble on the channel that has such good trust score that it's gonna essentially get you a lot of views. Now, you have the B for, this is for shorts, right? So what you're doing here is you don't have impressions count for shorts because there's no thumbnail packaging for short. What you can do instead, since you don't have thumbnail packaging for shorts, is to essentially look at the V count, okay? So if after the 7 days, you're getting like at least 1,000 Vs, so at 1,000 Vs, so the channel with the most consistent videos over 1,000 Vs is the winner, right? But if after 7 days, none of your videos ever hit 1,000, the reason this is important because shorts pushes out your videos to a big audience to check, to test, right? Even that initial boost should get you over 1,000. But obviously, if all your videos are beneath 1,000, that means that you are not getting any good push, right? Which means that the trust score of the accounts are not good, right? So, but if you're getting consistently, 1,000 views, getting more than 1,000 views, then those channels, like consistent, I'm talking like at least 2 to 3 videos over 1,000 views, then go with this channel. This is the way you would verify impressions before you continue. And if you run, unfortunately for you guys, for whatever channels you're posting on right now, you're not getting views. If you were to run this experiment, you see that at the end of the 7 days, you might not even get up to 200 impressions. Because why is that? Because your channels are cooked. Most of the channels you're working on right now have no trust code. Most people don't even understand what trust code is. They're like, what is trust code? Well, like it's literally what guarantees if you get views or not, right? So, that's how it goes. That's what you do for each accounts. That's the play right here. Go ahead and execute this. If you don't have any money, like if you don't have any money saved up to get a pre-monetized account, like actual good pre-monetized account, then run this spam testing strategy. It will get you bad. Now, for those that can afford it and want to obviously have a more predictable way to YouTube, like something that isn't too noisy, then obviously you can get a pre-monetized account instead. So a pre-monetized account already has AdSense history, which is real trust. There's no way, like all the people that get the bot accounts that cannot get these accounts at scale. One, because obviously they're more expensive and it's just not scalable, If they're only spam accounts that cannot get pre-monetized accounts at scale, which is why YouTube has nerfed it, because this is still separating the real users from the spam accounts. So you can get that if you want to go ahead and do. Again, please do not use the fact that I'm plugging my link here to say, oh, I'm just doing it I'm just doing this so I can sell you, but you don't need to buy a pre-monetized account to earn on YouTube. Go ahead and execute this. How about you do that? How about you do this strategy right here before you start complaining? How about you do this? Do this strategy. You don't need to. This is not for everyone. But obviously, for those people that want to go ahead and get that, go over to Headset Channels. Go over to headsetchannels.com. We have crazy good testimonials that you can scroll through here of people who have gotten accounts from us and we've helped them scale. Endless students we've helped. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can go ahead and get that. Otherwise, go on this strategy right here. This strategy is going to be there. So I hope you learned something. I'll see you guys in the next video. So if I have to start over today, here's exactly how to go from 0 to building the $500 a day YouTube channel. Now, pay attention because it's not just what you think it is. It is not that. So, but first, why should you listen to me? So me and my student have started 30 channels in the last 28 days alone. One of them have made 3.8K, as you can see right here. One of them I don't mean the niche I'm going to be showing you in this video. But I'm going to show you how to actually win in the niche because no one's giving you this strategy just yet. Everyone's just selling the shovels. But we said that 3 times the last 28 days. And as you can see, all of them are all pretty good right now, at least averaging over $50 a day. If you're wondering why can we instantly start earning from the channel if we only started 20 days ago, that's because of the ideation strategy I'm going to show you in this video and because the channels are pre-monetized. Now, let's go ahead and begin. If I had to start over right now, how would I go from 0 to making my first $500 a day channel? Well, what I would do right now is I would come over to YouTube, I would search this. The reason I would search this is because there's been a new format that's been popping off everywhere. And that format is you have these thickman avatars like telling stories about prehistoric humans and stuff like that, etc., etc. You've probably seen it, but the mistake everyone makes is to copy everyone, copy the same idea, copy the same thing, and become the same people everyone else is. That doesn't work anymore. Because if I search Stickman right now, you will see all these channels like that. Look at this guy. All these channels are not upper timer, right? Look at these guys. Even though some of their videos are not built, this guy's video is pretty good. You can see everyone is trying to cover the same thing and they're doing the same video ideas and they're not getting views. 10 these, 8 these, 8 views, etc., right? But that doesn't mean that it's not working. It is still working, but people are going about this the wrong way. So here's what I will do. I would search this right now on YouTube. I would go ahead and copy the channel link of this. Now, trust me, it is not what you think it is. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in a new tab. Actually, let me open. You'll here, right? So I will open this and keep it in a new tab. I'll open this, keep it in a new tab. Here's another thing I'll do. Now that I've searched this, YouTube is giving me semantic indexing. It's essentially giving me what other channels fall into the same sphere of this kind of content. And what would you know, we have Cause Gazette in here. Now, where am I going with this? Just keep watching and you'll understand where I'm going with this. So if you go to Cause Gazette, I'm also going to put this in a new page like this. I'm going to put this in a new page. I'm going to go over, there's another channel I'm looking for, hopefully I can find here. I can put Trust Me Brewing there as well. Some other channel I'm looking for. What channel was it again? Hopefully I can find it. Survive. So I'm just going to put it search. Hopefully we can find what I'm looking for. I can't find it right now, but there's a channel right here. It came up. I searched this earlier and it came up. I don't know why it wasn't coming up. But here's another established channel right here in another recipe, like in another kind of format, in another video execution style. So this guy's commentary, you know, with good images and stuff like that. Now we have all these channels. Right, all these channels fall in the same ideation sphere, right? So what I'm going to do next, so what I'll go ahead and do next is what I'm going to do next, once I have all of these channels saved exactly what I want them, actually it was already saved here anyway. So here's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to start copying the channels of each of them. I'm going to go to channel recipe, and I know it is my tool, but you can start for free. What I'm showing you is completely free to do. Okay, I would open it, I will come to Script Studio, and I'll haste that channel here. And then now to like 15 videos for this. And I'll go back and then I'll copy from this. Remember, these ideas, we just searched the topic style. We searched a specific topic and YouTube brought us back all these channels as related to each other. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put them here as 15 videos. Oh, actually, I didn't mean to do that, but let me refresh. I didn't mean for that to start. So it's paste that as 15 good years. Let me add another channel. So this is exactly what you do. Let me add another one. Cause Gazette. Add another one. Remember, these audience patterns are similar. The people that watch videos here also watch videos here. So you might start to understand what I'm going with this. I'm going to open a new one. This is here. 15. Open Mac. Paste it here. 15. And then I'm going to go ahead and I've opened this before, right? Yeah. So we have 5 channels now. What I'm going to go ahead and do is fetch channel beta. So now when this is done, we're going to continue with this tutorial. If you have an idea, let me know what you're guessing right now. This strategy is in the description, but we'll see. And boom. So now that it's done, I'm going to click here to download the JSON file. And I'm going to click here, click resources, and download this prompt right here. It's completely free. Again, it's completely free. So now the next thing I'm going to do is come over to Claude. So I'm going to come over to Claude. I'm going to drag it in, the prompt, and I'm going to drag this in right here with all the data that we now have. And now we're going to click enter and wait for it to happen. Okay, and just like that, it is now done. So what we've done, let me give you the above explanation if you're too confused, is you have to understand the idea format has been completely saturated. Okay, so if you search ancient humans, why ancient humans, right? It can be seen in a lot of these formats. So these formats are proven to work. These drawing formats, these cartoon-like stickman formats work, okay? They get a lot of views. Don't know why I said stick. They get a lot of views. I've covered this before, like new channels, especially this Zen guy that I started, put in a lot of views, right? But then as soon as he started, a lot of competitors flooded and started executing this, but they still don't know the idea of what red ocean and blue ocean niches mean. when this guy made his first video 3 months ago, this was a blue ocean strategy. You can make any idea and go viral with it. But as soon as competitors flooded, instantly became red ocean, which means there's a lot more competitors, a lot more people are competing for the same thing. So to still make this work, you need to take advantage of the format that's working, which is the drawings, and you need to combine that with the blue ocean ideation strategy, which is exactly what this prompt does. So if we go ahead and read it, essentially it would paste with all the beta here. So let's just go through it. So stat note, who this viewer is as of today, not a history book, a curious generalist who like presidential way, blah, blah, blah. The fear obsessed with their own body and mortality, the love, blah, blah, blah. What makes them click today? Not 2023. The family tree that got crowded, blah, 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 blah. The reward engine, the engine's remarkably consistent, 5 reusable, blah, blah, blah. It's literally giving you why it's working right now. What are they clicking for? The psychology of these people. And now the most important part, it's going to tell you angles that the demand is high, but supply is fresh. Okay? So the hunger, for example, we were never the only humans, crowded family tree. Demand is high, supply is fresh, as you can see here. Brand new human species just discovered, high, fresh. These, because he used the data from Cos Gazette, Extinct Zoo, Trust Me Bro, Mac, all these people, and is using it to, and actually does research it. Researches the internet, which is why it's researching data as of today, right? So now step E, the idea sleep, okay? Now it's going to go ahead and use all these things, right? And find you adjacent formats, like underserved areas, like you can go ahead and fill these gaps. So you're not competing in the greater ocean strategy. You're actually, you're competing in a completely different place, right? So how did ancients how did humans involve alcohol, right? The first brain soldier that cut holes in skulls, right? We were never the only humans. How did the Asian humans give that? How did Asian humans do this? How did the Asian humans change? How close did humans come to extinction? Because it's so good, because combined ideas from this place, ideas that would welcome this shaman, and Cos Gazette, which kind of has tutorial and stuff like that. It's mixing all these things together to find new untapped gaps that people haven't thought about making videos for, right? So you're not only just copying from these sister channels, you're going out of your way and trying to find outliers from other areas surrounding the food niche and taking it and combining it in the food strategy, right? So as you can read through here and everything here in this world, of all the ideas it's giving you, etc., and stuff like this. So now that you have this, here's what I would do next. So now that I have the data that I made, now I need to start making the videos, right? And to make the videos, I need a lot of volume. I need to understand, I need to be able to do volume. So now I need to essentially stamp lasting volume so I can start to verify these ideas work, right? So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to head over here, or whatever AI tool that you have that makes these things, okay? So you can go over to channel recipe, or you can go wherever else. Okay, I'm just telling you without execute right now. Now I'll come over here again to Script Studio. I'm just gonna, it's already learned from it since we already taught it, where they learned from the script writing styles. So now that it's learned from these already, I'm gonna go to titles, to ideas, and take our ideas from here. So let's go to the fresh ideas that are actually proven. So boom, how did ancient humans involve government? I think this is a solid idea. And also please read through these ideas yourselves. Read through these ideas yourself and find and still involve that human creativity. So the next thing I'll do is I wouldn't even generate video ideas. I would paste this here. So anyway, let's come out to new video, click here. I already have my own title, so I'm going to put this here. I'm going to click next. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to use this for the sake. So now I'm going to go to the script studio. I'm going to go to write script because it's learned from these channel data. Go to write script, put our video idea, Let's target 8 minutes for now. Obviously, you want your length to be as similar as their length. So now let's wait for the script to be done. So it's learning from the JAMA data and using the best frameworks, the best scripting styles that get the most views. And we've solved the ideation idea by actually looking for blue ocean ideas, then just copying what everyone else is doing. Such as he had the ancient humans of our infant gambling. So I'm going to copy that, come out to new video. I'm going to paste this here. And then I'm going to click next. Another thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm actually going to clone the voice here because I don't want to use like an AI voice. Sometimes YouTube detects which voices are AI, and sometimes it kind of like hurts your reach. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just clone a voice. So I'm going to come here.
Kelly gives you more confidence. You got the best skill, thanks to the Terry Price.
Here's the thing. And again, make sure you have access to you have ownership of the voices you're going to be cloning, because obviously I'm not advocating to be cloning other people's voices. But anyway, we're going to record this. They did wash their hands. This needs to be addressed immediately because the premise embedded in this video's title, while irresistible as a hook, contains an assumption that the historical record doesn't actually support. Ancient Romans washed their hands before meals as a matter of social convention, so established That's enough recalling. I'm going to come back here. So anyway, what happened, I forgot to continue the recording, but I chose the voice that I cloned from here. And we went ahead and made our thumbnails here. For the thumbnails, instead of copying the same thumbnails that everyone's seen before, which I was just explaining that the phenomenon called banner blindness has happened. A lot of people has associated these thumbnails with low quality slop content. So instead of using that, we're going to use thumbnail styles from these guys, or thumbnail styles from, this channel by Trust Me Bro, which is slightly different than with the Make Your Thumbnails. All I did was just to upload the screenshot that I took here, and I used it to generate the thumbnail. After I did that, I started cooking the video, which is now cooking right here. So we're going to go ahead and wait for that to finish, and we'll see our video. Okay, it's finally done. I'm going to try to attach this video link in the description so you can watch it after video, but let's try to watch it here. Please don't hate me if I forget to attach the video here. But I know I don't want the video. I'm just going to go ahead and let's go through it. Let's watch it. And by the way, remember the reason it's 3 minutes is because I said it took 3 minutes, because just for the purpose of this. Already that, let's go. And when you're posting this video, you probably don't want to put hashtag gambling in the description. How did ancient humans invent gambling? If I told you that the first casino, the first debt, the first time a human risked everything they owned on pure chance happened tens of thousands of years ago, you'd probably think I was crazy. But what if I told you we have actual physical evidence of it? Archaeological teams have uncovered ancient dice, ancient betting tokens, and ancient records of people wagering their homes, their livestock, and even their own family numbers. And the origins of this obsession, they're way more sinister and weird than you'd ever expect. Let me explain. Here's the thing about ancient humans that nobody really talks about. They were bored, incredibly bored. You're talking about people who had no Netflix, no video games, no streaming services, nothing. Long nights, days with nothing but hunting, gathering, and sitting around fires waiting for the next crisis. So naturally, they started inventing ways to... And now that I have my video here, I'm going to scroll all the way down, get the thumbnail here, which is this, save it, if you haven't saved it, and then go ahead and copy the title and the description and the tag. Make sure you add these, like you add channel tags, and you also add like video tags like this. Very good, very important to ensure that the algorithm actually finds your audience. Now, after you've done that, stop posting. Now, next thing what to do is to stop posting. Post consistently. Post once a day, as often as possible. Try this for like 15 videos. Don't be the guy that just says, oh, let me post consistently forever. Try 15 videos. Look at your results. If you're getting views, keep doing it, right? If you're not getting views, you might probably want to watch my video on Trosco, which I made. So you can go watch that video. So I mean, the full video can't like explain what Trustcall is and how it affects you, like getting views and getting impressions on YouTube and stuff like that. So you can go watch that. But this is what I will do if I wanted to speed run a $500 a day YouTube channel. So I hope you learned something to you guys. I've been getting a lot of this question, especially when I'm talking to my students. It's, do I learn to make the videos myself or do I hire people to make the videos? So let's go ahead and open a video. So because YouTube actually works for beginners, it doesn't matter what, if you're a beginner, everyone was always because of beginning, especially with AI nowadays, you don't have to suffer like learning all the hard things. So you need to make a videos anymore because you have AI. But, the question that still dumps beginners is, do I learn to do these things myself or do I just pay someone to do it? Now, initially, they'll go towards, I'll learn to do it myself, people that have time. But some people don't have time. And then they're actually considering paying people to do it. But then they're like, oh, it's actually too expensive. So I want to address that question and tell you why both ways actually work so well. And whatever stage you're in right now, most likely you would actually start to understand that both of them is realistic for you, which is crazy. But let's go ahead and start the video. So here's what I outsource. I mean, for me, myself, on my channels, I absolutely either spend such little time on each channel or I don't spend any time at all. This is because I have way too many channels. I simply do not have the time to, go around channels and all I do is just like, once I do the niche research, I hand it off to a team member, etc., etc. All right, so I don't have time for that because I'm scaling, right? But you're not at my stage yet. So I am paying someone to make my videos. These videos are very cheap to make because you're not doing 3D animations. You're not doing any cool animations on screen. All you're paying someone to do is to find images and put it in the video for you. That's all you're paying, right? So it's very cheap to get. I'm going to reveal how much I'm paying for this video, for these videos we're making at the end of the video. So let's keep going. So I made 9.3K from that one channel alone. And I'm not showing it to flex. I'm showing you to that actually run this. And if you watch more videos on my channel, you see other channels I also run. I'm one of the only guys on YouTube, only YouTubers that I would say would reveal niches that's actually actively making them money. So I'm not showing it to flex, but this is the question. Do you do it yourself or outsource, right? I'm going to show you why that's actually the wrong question, okay? Just the real question is what part do you outsource, okay? Because if you get this wrong, nothing else matters. So moving on, you want to keep the brain of the channels and you outsource the hands. So across all my channels, I'm still the brain behind them. I'm still the one with experience. I'm still the one that knows how YouTube works. I'm still the one that knows how the algorithm works. I'm still the one that knows which video ideas will get views on now, right? So I'm still the one behind the niche, the ideas, knowing what goes viral. Now, the thing you outsource is the hands. You outsource the editing. You outsource the finding clips. You outsource the voiceover, right? This is how you scale properly. Now, the problem is beginners kind of want to outsource the brain, and that's why they lose money, okay? So to have someone to pick topic and strategy, and to tell the editor, they kind of leave the creative part of the process to the editor, but the editor has no experience or any idea what goes viral, right? So what you do want to do is to do it yourself first. Now, when I say do it yourself, it's not to edit the videos, right? It's to understand what videos go viral or not. It's to get this experience. Obviously, if you don't have a coach, it's going to be pretty hard because you have to make these experiences, right? And you have to earn these experiences yourself. But the most optimum route that I'll recommend is to approach it first, learn what actually works, learn how to tell a good video from a bad one, and then think about managing editors later, right? So the risk is not equal, okay? If you do it yourself, you lose time. But think about it, guys. I'm not saying to, outsource the brains. I'm saying outsource the hands, but the brains has to be you. You used to have to be the one that gains the experience. You can't just, make the whole channel passively. I still spend about like an hour a week, 30 minutes, an hour a week across like a few of my channels, right? So you see, want to be part of the brains of the operation, if that makes sense, right? So that's why do yourself with brains first. It's very important, right? Now, what you want to do is to outsource the hands. And by the way, if you are stuck in this stage and you don't know what works, you're posting videos, you're not really seeing results, and such, etc. If you need like a coach, or if you need, my strategy or how I do it, well, basically, I'm going to tell you my strategy right now. I'm combining the experience I have with pre-monetized channels. So the niches I'm entering, the channels are already monetized, which means that when I execute the niches I pick out, that means that I'm going to start earning from day one, which is going to, keep funding the channel. It's going to keep self-funding. This is why I always pay for editors. So if you do, go ahead. If you do need that help, that if it sounds like you need a pre-monetized account that YouTube already trusts, that YouTube is already pushing to the algorithm, and you also need help on picking a niche, and you need help on figuring out what videos to post on it, go ahead and head over to headstatchannels.com. This is where me and my team are going to go ahead and review your current strategy. And, once you apply, if you get qualified, you're going to get, not only are you going to get a channel that YouTube already trusts and is already monetized, you're also going to get direct help on choosing the niche, taking the executing, on hiring editors if you want to hire editors, essentially picking out viral video ideas that's going to go viral for your channel. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, if you're ready to kind of, skip the years of trial and error, go ahead and go to headstatchannels.com. But let's continue with the video. So you want to go ahead and outsource the hands once it proves out. Okay, so when the channel works and you know what good looks like, which is what we're going to help you with if you're in Headstart Channels, right? Once you can outsource the brains, or once you understand, or once we teach you, or once we point you in the right direction with the niche of what actually works, then you can afford to pay for editing. Then it starts to make sense. And not just that, if you have a pre-monetized account, the channel kind of pays for itself, because as soon as you start posting videos, you start earning, you start subtracting from that and paying your editors. So the hands are cheap, the brain is everything. Editors run about $5 to $10 a video. Yes, I've reviewed it. This is how much I'm spending for my videos. Why can I spend so little? How can I spend so little? Well, because I'm not entering niches that are so hard to do. The niches I'm entering, anyone can do it. All right. And this is the kind of niches that video editors love, because as long as you promise them that you're going to keep getting them videos to edit, and that this is a long-term position, long-term role, they're going to be very intrigued. They're going to want that job, right? And that's when you can tell them, I'm going to pay you $5 to $10 a video, but I'm going to do you endless videos to edit. That's how you do YouTube. So I could give them like 25 video ideas at once, and then they make such a lot of money on a short time frame. And then I can post 25 of these videos spread across 25 days, and they make me 4K, 5K, 6K. However, it depends on the RPM of the leash, right? So against the money you're actually making on the channel, that's nothing. You just keep the pot that prints. Now, but doing it all forever is a trap. If you never hand off good hands, you trade time for money, and you can never scale past one channel. This is why you must not settle for making the videos yourself, again. So it's a sequence, not a choice. So you watching this video, if you don't have a coach, you don't know what you're doing, the best thing is to do it yourself so you can learn. But if you do have a coach, or if you've gotten a channel from Headstart Channels and we're the one like teaching you, coaching you, giving you what actually works, then you can skip straight from this, because you're there learning what's working. You can skip straight and start outsourcing the hands, and we'll show you how to pay very cheaply for that. And, you can scale from there. You can keep the brain, and then you can scale as much as possible. Now, that's the problem. The brain is the hard part, though, right? So the brain is the hardest part. That's what takes people years. That's what took me years, right? Because you have to make those initial mistakes. You have to fail a lot and you have to learn a lot what actually works, etc., etc. But as soon as you figure out the brain, then you can scale forever, right? So if you need our help on that, on strategy, how to scale your channel, if you want to get a pre-monetized channel, go ahead and click the link below. But yeah, never outside like the brain once if you don't know what you're doing and you don't have a coach. But if you're just the average, YouTube guy, watching this video right now, you're wondering what to do, and you don't really want to pay for coaches and you want to do this your own way, do not outsource the brain yet. Just follow it in sequence, do it yourself first and then outsource later. But if you do have a coach, you can move a lot faster if the brain part is already solved, and you can just start paying editors and start making more videos and start scaling your channels. That's my take on that. So let me know if you have any questions. Goodbye. So in this video, I'm going to show you why your faceless YouTube channel gets 0 views. This is not going to be no regurgitated advice. I'm going to show you what I'm using on my channels to build all the channels I'm viewing. I'm going to show you the actual psychology and physics behind it, how the YouTube algorithm works, and what you can start doing today to start getting more impressions and more views on your videos. Because we have this channel right here. I've been posting on it for quite a while, posting at least a video a day. And it's made 4.4K in the last 28 days, been consistently averaging over $200 a day. There's some bad weeks here and there, but like consistently doing pretty good, doing even higher. In the last 7 days alone, it's done at 700 GSD, which is not bad. But not just that, the reason I'm showing you this channel is if you look at the consistency, yeah, it's been pretty good. It's been feeling me quite well. I have nothing bad to say about this channel, right? It's done 14.2K in the last 90 days. And this is just one of the channels that I run. Yes, this is USD, as you can see. And if I go ahead and refresh start, I'm not showing you this to flex. I'll just want you to know that I know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to give you the food tips on how you can start your own channel. I wouldn't say copy it me, Shan, doing, but obviously it's here. You can do whatever you need to do. But I'm going to show you how you can take what I'm doing, the principles I'm following, and apply it into building your own channels. Okay? So first thing you want to understand is just make good videos. So I'm not saying that making good videos is bad. I just want you to understand something that has to do with the account level. It's not all about the videos, right? Because for example, you could have channels where you're making really good videos, but you're not getting views. But I don't even want you to focus on the views. I want you to focus on the number of impressions you're getting, okay? Because that's what dictates if you even got tested or not. So it's not about just make good videos, because even if you make good videos and you post, you get no views, you get no feedback. And you assume your content is bad, but that's not actually why. Okay. So, yeah, but that's not actually why. What I want you to pay attention is this thing that YouTube is actually a filter. Okay. If your videos never got tested, you're not going to know if it's good or bad, right? How does YouTube know if your video is good or bad? It tests it against the market. People watch the video, right? If people don't watch the video, you can't say, oh, this video is good or bad, etc. If it was never shown to a group. So what YouTube does is it tests it, and you've probably seen this multiple times, right? So it tests it with the small test group, and then if they're happy with it, YouTube tests it with a bigger group. But this is why you're stuck, right? Most of your videos either not getting tested, or it's just getting tested with a very small group of people. So why isn't YouTube testing your videos, right? This is where most of you are stuck. And while that goes into something, I'm going to go into the rest of the slides, but that goes into something called Trusca. And I really want you to pay attention to this. If you've never heard this before, pay attention to it. Trusca. I'm sure you've probably heard it, no one hasn't had this. But Trusca, okay? This is how YouTube decides to show your niche or your channel amount to people, right? And there's multiple ways that you can go about building this trust score, okay? One is if you have this, you're extremely lucky. Like you might just be good. Sometimes it doesn't work, but you are way ahead than everyone else if you have a channel like this. And that is an old personal, okay? An old personal channel. So first of all, let me explain why does YouTube give a fuck about trust score in the first place, right? Why does they care about trust score or channel history, as I like to call it, okay? Why is this? Because if you've never heard about this, there's something called artificial engagement, right? Artificial engagement, which is the fact that you're sitting there watching this video right now. You can make any video go viral. I hope YouTube don't ban me for saying this, but this is for educational purposes only. You can make any video go viral by getting a fake engagement bot and having it watch your videos, right? So you can buy a service, for example, and you put a link of your video and they'll flood it with artificial engagement, which is essentially bots to make your video go viral, right? Because YouTube sees this massive rush of engagement as velocity, and YouTube thinks your video is actually really good, and then it ends up getting more views, right? But YouTube doesn't like this, because if you can artificially manipulate the algorithm, then what is YouTube there for anymore, right? It's not genuine anymore, right? Advertisers would pay less if people are gamifying the algorithm. So YouTube has a very important duty of actively cracking down, because the bots that give you artificial views, they need YouTube accounts. You need YouTube account to watch a video and comment on it and all these things, right? Because so what YouTube is doing is to start to understand what accounts belong to bots, so that whenever you're buying these services, these artificial engagement, YouTube can say, oh, this is not real, this is a bot, and YouTube can subtract those views and not count it, right? So it's a very important thing that YouTube is doing. Now, the way you can spot like these bot accounts is usually that, it's automated. They use scripts for this. If you're not like read more about this, if you're confused what I'm talking about, go ahead and search this up and read about it, okay? Search this on the internet and read about this, okay? But this is important. So how are they going to crack down from this thing, okay? Well, usually to have these bots, you need a lot of accounts. So you might need like 1,000 YouTube accounts, or like 100,000 YouTube accounts if you want to send someone 100,000 views, right? So to do that, you might need to mass produce YouTube accounts, right? So YouTube tries to detect a pattern, right? So usually bots are accounts that are just recently created, they're created recently, and because they're created en masse, right? So that's why to fail on YouTube today, one of the fastest things to do to fail on YouTube is to create a new account and instantly start posting. Create new. If you do this, you are going to post for months and YouTube is not going to test your video, right? Because you could be a bot, right? You could be a bot that's trying to, mass produce content, either to go viral in a niche or to send artificial engagement to people, right? So YouTube doesn't have any past channel history. That account has very little trust score. So that's the one surefire way that YouTube is using to crack down on these bots. That's one way, right? Now, because the people that make the bots started understanding that, okay, whenever I create a fresh new channel, new account, and try to send artificial engagement, YouTube usually like remove the views. Like YouTube would subtract the views, meaning that it doesn't work anymore. So they said, okay, if they do that, and okay, we're in a bit of trouble now. How do we sell our services? How do we make artificial engagement work, right? So that's when people started understanding that new accounts don't get impressions on YouTube. So what did they do after that? They said, okay, so the best thing to do now is to use aged accounts. So if you wanted to make money to go viral on YouTube, the best thing to do is to use an aged account, right? Because this has more history, right? So an aged account is an account where, it's been created in like 2007. It's been created a long time ago, right? And you're just like getting these accounts off of other people that have the account and they're not using it anymore, So you have accounts like this, like old accounts. That's the main account. So for a long time, for quite a bit, this worked. If you wanted to go viral on YouTube, if you got like an aged account and you're posting good content, YouTube would start to test your videos more often than not, right? So this worked for a while. And then that's when the people that do the bots, the people that I'm just gonna, the B people, the people with the bots, that's when they decided, okay, so if aged account is getting impressions now, that means we should also be using aged account for our bots. Do you get what I'm saying? Conflict of interest. I said, okay, how about we start getting aged accounts for our bots instead of creating new ones? So they started going to all these sites where you get aged accounts and they started buying a lot of them. They started buying a lot of these aged accounts for their bots, right? Which meant that they've bypassed YouTube again. They've managed to stay on top of YouTube because now YouTube will trust in aged accounts. And now the bot people also have access to aged accounts. You know what I'm saying? So now they're like, what do we do? So they started using the bots again, started sending official engagement. Remember, this is a very important threat to YouTube. If YouTube is a fake platform, you as an advertiser would not want to spend money on YouTube anymore, right? Because it's not genuine engagement, right? So, they started cracking down on this. That's why recently everyone was telling you to get an aged account. An aged account, that's what works, right? But that doesn't even work anymore. It works for a few months, but why doesn't it work anymore? You don't get impressions as consistently anymore where you post new videos to channels die and like you don't even get views, right? Even if you post consistently. That's why this doesn't work very much anymore. Why? Because they're cracking down on this as well. They're using multiple other ways to start detecting what accounts were bought, what accounts were like aged accounts. You know what I mean? So that's why you would have channels like this, for example. They have been posting 108 videos. Even though this niche, I have channels in this niche that are all doing 10K a month, but you have a niche like this, they're posting really good videos and like just stuck at 40 Vs, 50 Vs, 60 Vs, 100 Vs, 90 Vs, 191 Vs, right? Even though he's making good videos. That's why I was telling you, the people telling you, oh, just make good videos. That's not true. It doesn't work anymore. Making good videos does nothing, right? But you can quite easily get stuck like this and post for months and months and months, making good videos, trusting consistency, trusting the process, and you're not going to be getting views. So the reason I was saying that you are lucky if you have this right now, if you have like a main account, is because your chances are slightly higher. If you have a main account, which is your personal account that you've had since you were a kid, you've always used there, etc., it's your personal thing, you can assume that the trust score on that channel is very high because you have a channel history, you have a little videos that you've watched, you have a natural viewing pattern, natural account pattern, so you're safe, right? But if you have an aged account nowadays, you're not that safe anymore because this is no longer guaranteed, right? This is kind of working, but not guaranteed. This is definitely not guaranteed, etc., right? And this, the one that actually works, which is what I'm doing and everyone else is doing, everyone that's using YouTube like a business, the thing that actually works, right? Thing that actually works is pre-monetized accounts. Why is that? Why a pre-monetized accounts the things that already worked? Well, because this has massive trust score. One, it's already been monetized in the past. Monetized. Which means that it's gotten a lot of views before. Why? A lot of views. What does that mean? That means that YouTube has tested the channel before and trusted it. YouTube has already tested it, given it views, trusted it, and gave it more views. Do you get what I mean? Right? And not just that, this account had already been linked to an AdSense. So it's a real person behind the account, right? So if you have things like this, these massive trust scores is what happens, is what's in your favor. That's why when you start new accounts, when you post new videos, you instantly start getting impressions. Instant impressions, YouTube sets, pushing your videos, right, to a lot of people to watch. Why is that? Because all these trust score. This is the one that these people can't get at scale. They cannot get these accounts at scale, right? And YouTube understands this. If you don't manage to find a way to circumvent this and these people use this, then YouTube is in a lot of trouble. But for right now, this is what consistently works. This is the one way to do YouTube as a business, start this week and start getting impressions, right? It's either you do this or you must be ready to post consistently for a long, long time. And there's no guarantee at the end. It's either that or you're willing to make like 60 plus videos with no guarantee. So at the end of the 60 plus videos, you might not even be getting these anyway. Do you get what I mean? This is how to do YouTube. This is the only way to do YouTube. Either you're ready to do this or you're going to combine it with a personal account you have and still do volume. This is volume game. And still accept that there's no guarantee, right? Now, if you want to get these remonetized accounts, I'm going to put a plug here. I don't care what you say, but I do have where I get mine. And not just that, if you get a remonetized account or you don't know what to post or like you need help, if you want to enter the kind of niches I'm mentoring, if you want to get my help to build your channel, etc., head over to headstartchannels.com. It's right here, headstartchannels.com. Claim your pre-monetized account. You're going to have to go ahead and book a call. And if you get accepted, you can essentially have yourself a pre-monetized account. They do have a guarantee. Would they have a guarantee? You can go ahead and apply here. So it's get on the dolls back, or you don't, or you get a full refund. But this is why you can get your pre-monetized account, right? Now, but guys, just because I have this link here, do not believe that all that shit I just said is like crap. I just said it to sell my course. You know what? I don't even care if you believe me on that, right? I have the receipts, right? I don't care if you believe me. I don't care if you think, you know, what's going to work, etc., etc. You're just going to, be consistent. I'm telling you right now, if you don't want to waste the next 3 months on YouTube, grinding on YouTube, you need to do this or be ready to post consistently, right? Or have yourself an old account that you can trust and just post on that. But with a pre-monetized account, it's already monetized, so you start earning once you start posting, etc., etc. But yeah, that's why your faceless channel gets 0 views. That's number one thing. You guys think it's all about the niche. You guys think it's all about the video. Sure, if you get like a pre-monetized account, you still have to get a good niche, which is what headstartchannels.com helps you with. You still have to get a good niche, get good video ideas, still manage to go viral, right? We'll help you with that. But do not forget and do not think for a second that this shit doesn't matter, because it absolutely does. If you want to do it like a business, you need to keep this in mind. So that's the lesson for this video. Goodbye. Right, so in this video, I'm going to show you how I'm combining Claude with what I'm going to cover in this video, which is what I like to call AI, 3D animation. I'm going to teach you how I'm combining this to make a pretty good channel that's absolutely popping off. We're only started posting on this channel recently. And since then, we've been posting very consistently, as you can see right here. Not all the videos do well, but not bad at all. Like, I can't complain. If you're going the last 7 days alone, it's in that 711 USD. And what's funny is this niche is completely automated. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, but what if your channel gets eliminated? Oh, what if it's AI slop, blah, blah, blah. I don't think my videos are AI slop. I'm going to try to play a video. I don't think the content that we'll make, I don't think the content we're making is AI slop. I'm going to go into the tutorial, but I just want to play this video because each story is genuinely different. I'm going to go into what the strategy even is, why this is low-key walking right now. They're looking at me. And yeah, I hope you're grateful with this. I'm one of the only ones how to actually reveal a channel that's probably making the money right now and still show you the strategy so you can essentially copy me. But I'm going to show you why, even if you copy me, it's still not going to detriment me. I feel like genuinely there's enough spots for a lot more channels in this space. Let's get this shitty ad out of the way.
Why does everyone only notice him? Tomorrow, everything will change.
So as you see, each of them are individual stories. Could be about anything. It's like short stories. That's very easy to ideate these things. I'm going to also give you my ideation process and everything. But essentially, you want to understand it's all about story, like short stories that people could actually like be used to practice the English. Because if you look at this, it says English level 8.2. Essentially what this is, you know what, let's get into the tutorial. How about we do that? So the niche is quietly printing right now. And I'm not just showing you on this channel. I'm going to show you a bunch more channels that's and risk of it. This channel that you're looking at right now, this is it right here. As you can see, what I want you to pay attention is the sheer volume of virality that this niche has right now. We only have 13 videos posted here, 13. And that started recently, right? Like on my channel here, right? We're only posting for a long time. As you can see, we've been posting quite consistently 3 weeks ago. Our first video hit 411K views. And I've not even decreased this person. This guy only has 13 videos, as you can see right here. But they've posted quite a while, for like 3 months ago. I'm going to show you how I actually found this niche, by the way, when we started doing it. But anyway, as you can see, 105K, and then they started posting again. Recently, they're here at 700K out live here. And doing pretty good. I think these channels are doing way better than me. Obviously, this is our channel right here. But these channels they're looking at here are doing way better than me. Look at these guys. They're posting way more often, doing a lot more volume, exploring different stories and shit like that. That's truly, and you can see it's endless. It's another channel. If you go to the latest videos, as you can see, there's still blasting volume. These guys are not quite performing very well, but like recently, but as you can see, the 3.8 million views in this channel, at least 30K, 20 to 30K. And this is another channel starting 6 videos only. Right, as you can see, 400K, 300K, 200K. Now, if you be watching my videos, you start to understand that I usually tell you to not do the copycat strategy, but the fact that the potential right now is absolutely insane. These are just a handful of competitor channels that I had to find. But like, you don't need to trust me here. You need to do your own research. Go to YouTube and you're going to find all these cartoon channels, even if they're not in the English learning niche, right? They're absolutely everywhere popping up. Animated videos completely rare, right? So I've shown you my own channels, as you can see right here. The views literally outperformed their subcams, right? The views were going absolutely insane. But for the subcam that we have, so if we go here, as you can see, we're only sitting at like, we only added 6.4 freaking K in subcams, and we fucking got 1.4 million views. So a lot of people still think that you need to have a big channel to like earn on YouTube. That's not really true. But let's go ahead. I just want you to understand the amount of like small channels like you, like starting today right now, have seen impressions in this niche is absolutely insane. And I think I know why this is happening, this explosion that's happening recently, right? So now, the reason for that is didn't hand right now far outweighs competition, right? You can do your own research, right? So now, enough of that, enough of why the niche is so great, blah, 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 blah. Let's actually delve into what's happening behind it. So This niche has a TAM, or total addressable market, of over 1 billion people. So that means that over 1 billion people every single year, by the way, right, are learning English, right? Most of them are stuck in this. So if you're like a native English speaker, you probably, I'm not sure, would you know what this is? But like you would see the most of them are stuck in certain English levels. So they watch English content, English level videos, TV shows and stuff like that, so they can learn how to speak English. And they do this every single day, right? This is not a trend, guys. This is not a trend because all you've been chasing so far are people telling me, oh, enter this trend niche. This is enter this, enter that. No, this is simply a new opportunity that's happening based off of an evergreen market. So there's no trend became literally global audience. And last year's 2 views, right? If you think I'm shitting, if you think I'm like I don't know what I'm talking about, go on this channel. You can see videos that made months ago are poking up 4 months ago. If this was a trend, it would not be working right now. It would have died. You would not be seeing Miu channels like making videos right now and absolutely poking off. If it was a trend and they had died, this is absolutely evergreen and massive watch time. So on average, if it is like 36 minutes long, 35 minutes long, etc., stuff like that, which is incredibly long, which means that you have strong motivation. I'm going to get into like what the RPM is in a bit, but like these are not shorts, like they have very strong RPMs. Now, what you want to do is to copy the engine, don't copy their topics. I know I just showed you my channel, etc. I know you're so tempted to just come over to my channel, use Claude, copy my channel data and just try to start copying my ideas, but don't do that. I'm going to show you how to actually enter this niche properly. So you don't want to copy our topics. You want to copy the engine that produced the viral topics in the first place. Now, yeah, so absolutely do not copy their stories. These are already taken. And the fact that I'm making this video right now, exposing this strategy, means that a lot more people are going to enter this niche. So if you don't have a way of how you can actually stand out, you're going to be facing a lot of competition, all right? So what you want to do is for this thing I like to call the engine, okay? You want to copy this because this is what's actually bringing the V's. I'm going to show you how to do this with Claude, but this is what you want to copy. Copy the emotional stakes, right? Copy the fact that it's like A2 English. It has to be very simple sentences and stuff like that. Copy the curiosity angle, all right? This is what Claude can now help you do. I'm going to jump into this in a moment. And how to do clean animations with AI, which is fucking insane. AI is so advanced at it. I'm going to show you how to do all of this. Now, this is the one. This is finally why this is working, right? Guys, I know you might be saying, oh, get to the tutorial. If you don't understand these things, you're gonna struggle. With any niche, you need to understand your research first. It's not always about do it. It's about understanding why before you end up executing. So here's why all the niches you've been trying to enter, you've chased on what? You're chasing actually saturated niches. You're chasing trends that are not evergreen, etc. You're chasing like short RPM races. And most importantly, you quit. Now that you quit in week 3, you don't actually stay consistent enough. But here's why I have a very strong feeling about this one. And hopefully this will be the strategy that would literally have students like this that we're coaching, that are doing this every single day, blowing up their channel side. Pray and hope that this is the one that will actually get you out of the rat race so you can finally have your own monetized channel that's earning you something. But this has underserved a global audience, right? It's evergreen, which means that the videos you post today can still get views in 2 months, in 3 months, in 4 months, like we saw with that channel. And the watch times are extremely long. So what does that mean? That means that you make a lot of cash, right? And if you choose a sub-lane and idea it properly and stay consistent, it's literally impossible to lose in this niche. So let's go ahead and show what the MPM and this niche actually is. This is it from one of our past videos. It's not 5.09. Not bad, even though it's kind of on the lower end, but obviously we're putting so many views in this niche that I don't really care at all. Now, let's go ahead. I'm going to address this after I show you how to actually make the videos, because I know a lot of you are saying, oh, is it this slow? I mean, I'm doing good. But anyway, so what you want to go ahead and do is to find your own competitor channels, okay? You know these channels, you can go ahead and pull them up like I'm doing right now. Even my own channel, if you go ahead and do that, pull all these channels up. What you want to do next is copy. So copy the channel URL, so follow them and go over to wherever you get your channel data. You can get your channel data from down south. If you don't know what channel data is, it's essentially like, you know, how like get in the transcripts, get into vCounts, get in everything that you can use to train Claude, right? But what I like to use is channel recipe. So if you go to channel recipe, click tools, click script studio, you can follow along. This process is like completely free here. So go to tools. Now you want to go ahead and click script studio and start pasting these URLs, right? So I'm going to paste this one right here. I'm going to fetch the channel data, or I'm going to add new ones. If you don't see this button, you can just do it all manually. But let's say another channel right here. Make sure you're choosing the channels that are doing good. If you find even more competitors, that's perfect. Go ahead and add it as well. So boom, I'm going to go ahead and add this one as well. So now that we're here, we're going to click fetch channel data. So we're going to take this channel data. Let's open up Claude, get Claude ready. What we want to do is something that I like to call creating your own blue ocean niche, okay? Blue ocean niches, right? Because I truly want you guys to succeed, but you need to understand how market dynamics work. The fact that I'm making this video right now, let me finish this. Blue ocean. I'm using my cursor, so that's why it's so bad. Blue ocean niche, right? The fact that I'm making this video right now means that you're about to get a little bit more competition. Doesn't mean that it's going to get saturated or whatever, but people are actually going to take action. Hopefully, a lot of you wouldn't take action. Actually, this is just how it goes. A lot of you will be lazy. You won't actually execute this strategy, and that's fine. But a lot of you, some of you will execute. And when that happens, you need a differentiating factor. If you do want every single other person, let's say 50 people like try to enter this niche and you do every single thing exactly like they do, that's how you enter the slot page. You know, that's how YouTube don't push your videos and you don't actually understand why you do everything right and you never see results. That's because you're not trying to carve out your own unique angle. And I'm going to show you how to do this. So after you've gotten the data of all these channels that are actually working, so after you've gotten all the channel data from here, let's say this is done loading and you've downloaded the JSON file, there's going to be a button for you to download it once it's done. After you've done that, convert to tools, convert to resources, and download this free prompt right here. As you can see, Blue Ocean Niche prompt. It's completely free, download it. Now, when you come here, go ahead and put it right here. Now you want to go ahead and add your data set that you've downloaded. So now that you've added the data set that you downloaded, I want you to do something, okay? This prompt right here, it's all instructed to find you blue ocean video ideas, how you can actually structure your channel around them. So I want you to prompt back and forth between this, say something like, hey, Claude, I know a lot of people haven't been entering this niche. I want us to carve out a blue ocean niche that actually confirms based on the strategy of the data set of giving you, you know, what the audience actually would want to watch. I want us to go into and find our own blue ocean niche that I can build a full channel out of. If you say something like this and enter into Claude, it's going to use this prompt and find you a blue ocean niche that you can actually execute, right? Because you don't want to copy what every single person is doing. Please, right? Even if you copy my channel, my channel is not going to die, right? Because I already have some sort of monopoly here. But if you find your own lane and take advantage of the attentions, like the attention pool that's happening right now, you can like essentially build something like this really quickly, right? Since you can see all these channels that don't have anything special, you can see 10 videos that just started recently. So all you want to go ahead and do right now is to prompt back and forth with this. This prompt alone is only going to give you really good video ideas, right? But for your own sake, For your own sake, I'm just going to leave this part of the ideation up to you. This prompt is going to point you in the right direction. It's all you need, but I need you to spend at least 10 minutes here on trying to find video ideas I can build your channel out of. Because if I go more and more and more specific here, I promise you, right? If I go more and more specific here, I'm just going to be copying what everyone else is doing. I've seen this across multiple students. So for the sake of you actually succeeding with this strategy, just take over the ideation from here. Trust me, guys, okay? So let's say you've prompted back and forth and you've gotten some video ideas. Now you tell Claude to write your script. So I've done all that. Now I have the script. So I have a script here. It's essentially like how, Leo threw the house with bubbles. I'm going to go over here and I actually copy the script. Now copy this and come back over to channel recipes. So now with channel recipe, you can see all these different recipes. You can essentially get like packs, right? Like startup pack that you can use and start using your own AI models to generate these videos. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that. But anyway, the first thing you want to do when you come over to recipes right here, and you click the storyboard pack. So come over here, paste your script in here. And after you paste your script, you're probably not going to be seeing this yet, but don't worry about that. Click this thing right here. So paste the script here. Remember another thing, if you don't have the dialogue in the videos, just paste the script here. Don't worry about it. It's not that complicated. So after you've clicked this, click extract characters. So what this does, it reads your scripts, finds all the different characters in your script and story, and it's going to generate all those different characters. You can visually, these are your characters now. These are your AI, image characters that you can use to start telling this animation story. So now that you have this here, what I'm going to go ahead and do, as you can see, it's extracted all the characters in my story. What I'm going to go ahead and do is click next. Now, as you can see, these are all my characters here. You can choose a title here. So title of my video is going to be Where is Benny's Passport? As you can see right here, this is the script. If you want to take away like a lesson, in the video that you want to give to the audience, you can put it here or you can suggest some, but I'm not going to do any of that. I don't need that. Now, you have number 3. This is going to be dialogue. So if your script don't have dialogues, as you can see, mine don't have much dialogue, as you can see. So dialogue is essentially what it's telling them to say, the things they're actually saying. So sometimes my scripts don't have it. So I'm just going to say write dialogue for me. But if your script has dialogue, you can paste the full dialogue bit here. But I'm just going to say write dialogue for me. Now I'm going to choose the length of my video. I'm going to leave this as short actually for the purpose of this tutorial because it takes slightly longer, about a few minutes, like tens of minutes to make like a full-fledged 30-minute video, which is expected. But like anyway, so I'm just going to save 3 minutes for the purpose of this tutorial. And I'm going to go ahead and click generate thumbnail. Now you don't need to generate the thumbnails from here, obviously, but as you can see, it's tried to generate some thumbnails for us. But I think I actually got the title of this video wrong. This is Benny filled the house with bubbles. So I would just like regenerate the thumbnail again, but it's fine. We don't care about the thumbnail. I'm going to click this right here, preview the first minute, because I just want to show you what happens. So now what's going to do is it's going to create your storyboard. This is why I brought you guys to this too, right? This part of the tutorial is completely free. So don't sit down and say, oh, he's just saying if this is trying to promote someone's tool. Look, I genuinely use this, and this is about to create your full storyboard that you can take. You don't need to animate your videos here. You can animate it anywhere. But now it's going to generate all your storyboards, all your images that you're going to use and turn them into videos. So let's wait for that to finish. So as you can see, it's generated our first 8 scenes. So they genuinely looks pretty good. So it's generated our first 8 scenes. Nothing to change. If you want to change anything, I'll reprompt a scene. You can click on them and like reprompt it. But I think it looks good. I'm going to generate the full thing now for the first 3 minutes like I selected. So it's going to do that now. And after this, we're going to show you what to do from it. So now it's gotten a full storyboard for our first 3 minutes, just like I requested. Now you have 2 options, right? So you can grab the zip file. So you can essentially download this. Now I'm going to open it. Just grab this zip file, right, for completely free for your first few videos, right? grab that with all the images and all the prompts that you're going to use. So let me open this up and let's look at this. All right, so you have all the images here. So if you open the images, the first image, it's going to also have attached the prompt to copy and use. So you can literally copy this right here, right? And paste it in your image to video model. So it's called image to video model, right? So there's a bunch you can use. You know, you can use Kling, you can use Kling image to video model, right? You can use that. You can also use Via Creepon 1 or whatever it's called. You can use WAN, WAN 2.7. So wherever you can arrange that, wherever you use image to video models, it's very easy to set it up wherever you want them. Go ahead and use them. But you do have an option to do that. Another thing you can do is you can make your videos right here, right inside channel recipe, right? This optional way you can also do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right here. But on screen, I'm going to show you if you chose to do it manually. If you chose to do it manually, right? And you've gone all the video clips. So let's say you went ahead. I'm going to try to attach some videos. Let's say you've taken all these prompts. Shh, it is almost finished. This is the best part. You can also use this feature inside of channel recipe, which allows you to use whatever you want, and you can come back and choose all the video files. So let's say these are your video files, right? You've prompted them, generated all these individual videos. Now you need it to be synced up. So you can select all of them, and channel recipe is going to automatically find all the videos and sync them up for you in sequence, right? As long as you grab your storyboards from channel recipe. But since I create it externally, I'm going to just cook my video on channel recipe, and I'm going to choose background music because I like some background music. And I'm going to cook it, and it's going to send me a meme of here. But once the cook is done, it's going to go ahead and remind me that it's done. That I can go ahead and watch our video. And now that it's finally done, we can go over here. You can see it's saved here. So let's go ahead and download it. We're going to essentially watch it. Because I set it to 3 minutes, so that's what it's shot. But let's go ahead and see what the video looks like.
That was a great game, but wow, I am so dirty. Hello? Is anyone home? My clothes are so muddy. Mom will not be happy. Wait! I am... Stop! Stop! Machine! It's everywhere! The whole room is full of bubbles!
As you can see, if you seek right for, it's done all the storyboarding, made all the scenes, and told the story, and she can see it's escalating. This is the part of the story that doesn't involve all these characters. It's extremely intelligent. Like, all you have to do is come up with a new video recipe and use this to create your storyboard. Whether you make the actual video in channel recipe or not, the storyboard is extremely important because all you need is to just put your script here, whatever script that you have, and it's going to go ahead and extrapolate the characters, and it's going to go ahead and help you draft the story and make your storyboard, etc., etc. Now, this is not for everyone, but if you want to further this strategy, if you want to actually take this seriously like a business. So for a lot of you that actually want to take this seriously and pump out a lot of videos, if you're wondering what are the strategies behind the surface, right? How are we making these videos? So many videos like this for cheap, etc., etc. So if that interests you, you can come with the resources and check this out. So I've distilled all our actual full strategies, which unfortunately I can't share everything in this video because that means every single person copies it and then obviously the mode disappears and then stops working. But if you want to take it seriously and you want to take it a step further, you can check out resources. Again, you don't need to get this to start completed in this niche, but if you want to understand how we're doing them behind the scenes, you can check out resources. It's only 55 credits. But yeah, that's it for this video. As you can see, just use this, make your storyboard. You can drag and select if you want to only generate these four, etc., etc. Once you're done with the storyboard, go ahead and like download there and use your own video animation to whatever you want to use to make the videos. So that's it for this video. I hope you learned something. Leave a comment what you guys want to see next. If you have any questions on the channel, whatever you might have for us, etc. So that's it. See you guys in the next video.